So he's standing back there.
There's chairs.
Yes, chairs are slippery, be careful. Yeah. Oh, you did some research? Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, good. Tell me. Well done, Tom. I'd like to be surprised.
Good evening, Melbourne. Welcome to the Love Train. Are you feeling the love? No, the show's up there. I just said, welcome to the stage. The show's all about Greg Fiddler. This is it. You can clap.
Yeah.
That is it. Welcome to my show. Thank you for taking the time to come out on a rainy night and come all the way to the top of this train car to my show. My name is Greg. I came here from the United States. A little bit about me. I've been doing stand-up comedy for a long time. Decades ago, when I first started, the first show I did in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I got paid to do stand-up comedy, was in a train car. I say that just so that you know, yes, that I came a long way to get back to exactly where I fucking started. It's been a long journey, and obviously I want to tell you about it. 8 years ago, I lived in Los Angeles, California. I was married to an Australian. We had a 4-year-old son, and we had a decision to make. Do we want to raise our kid under Donald Trump's America, or would we rather move to Australia? So we moved to Australia, and this is the story of that. So thanks for buying a ticket. I'm just curious. It's my show, by the way. My show is called Americunt. You're probably aware of this. It's I needed a name for a show, so anyway. I was on the radio on Wednesday afternoon. Did anybody hear me? Radio, community radio, 3KND, cool and deadly community radio out of Bandura at 1:20 in the afternoon. My mate and fellow comedian Aiden Hitchens said, "Come on my show, and you can promote the show all you want. 20 minutes. You just let me talk about me, talk about the show. Go to the festival website, buy a ticket. 20 minutes of me just trying to sell tickets to this show. 20 minutes of Aiden continually referring to my show as Americunt. We sold out the first 3 nights. And we are almost sold out tonight. So maybe he was onto something, because I'm trying to be cute, and I'm trying to take that word and, kind of hide it in there. And he's just like, no, mate, we say cunt on community radio. So I don't know which one of us sold the tickets, but thanks for coming out. That's great. Yeah, that is the name of my show. I needed a word about an American that said he would do something and actually went and did it. And I said I would move to Australia. I actually did it. So I needed a word that captured the essence of America, and another word that captured the essence of Australia. And it has to be that word, because it has a special meaning. First of all, that word doesn't exist where I come from. You can't say it. You would never say that to your mate, but you can do that here. It actually means, you're so cool. I can say this about you, and you're not going to get upset. And so it has to be that word. And because I lived here 9 years now, and I remember the first time somebody called me a bloke, and I had to think for a second, and then I realized I'm a bloke. I've made the transfer. I am now a bloke. Wow. And I remember the first time somebody referred to me as their mate. And I said, hey, this is my mate Greg. I was like, wow, that feels nice. Like, that's a new level of intimacy. But after all the time I've been here in Australia yet, I still have not been cunted. That is the test. That's the one where you know that you've been accepted, because You can call anybody walks through that door, that's a bloke. And you know, you can get to be somebody's mate pretty easy, but being a cunt, you gotta earn that. You earn that by showing up every day and proving your cunt worthiness. And I would like to aspire to someday possibly be a sick cunt. I mean, because I've got friends and family back home and they ask me, how are things going in Australia? I'd like to be able to tell them, I am one sick cunt. That's how well I am doing. So it has to be that word. And I put it in the, I did the show for the Fringe Festival, and I did these posters. I don't know if you saw this one. But the Melbourne Comedy Festival, they made me put a little asterisk right there. I had to put an asterisk on this for the Melbourne Comedy Festival. If you go in their browser, search all shows, and you type in that word, Americunt, as it is, my show does not come up. If you type it in with the asterisk, it also doesn't come up. I don't know how you found out about this show, but the Melbourne Comedy Festival is scared to let me put that. It's not even a word. I made it up. This is not in the dictionary. How can it be a forbidden word? It doesn't exist. It only exists in this room right now. But obviously, if I did this show in the United States, it would have a different title. I would be scared to call this show that word in the United States. Can't use that word. I'm not scared to put that word on this poster here. What I'm scared to do here is to put this trained sentence on this poster, because I have no fucking idea how to spell that word. I mean, it seems like it doesn't really need an I, but it's the long A sound. There's a soft C. There's an S, and I don't know if it's there could be an I before E rule. I'm blatantly violating. I don't know. I'm just telling you, look, I'm taking chances up here. That's it. So thank you for coming out. I'm very lucky that you're here this week, because obviously I've been working on this show a long time. I wanted to come out and talk about America a little bit. How lucky are we that just today, America's in the news? We won another war. It's actually not that big of a deal. We've won it like 6 times now. But still, winning. You probably heard about this one. It's not a war. Trump is not calling it a war. It's something else. And of course, his name for it is Operation Epstein Fury. Operation Epstein Fury. That is a great joke. I wish I had written that. I did not write that joke. Do you know who wrote Operation Epstein Fury? Iran. From the official Twitter account of the Grand Ayatollah, there's a blue check mark and everything. The first day of the bombs, that was their response, is you will fail with your Operation Epstein Fury. Look at how progressive Iran has become. Because, they come up with those sayings all the time. I'm sure the Ayatollah's not writing his own things. I'm sure he's got a content team and they sit around the table. But I always imagine, like all these other Ayatollah-looking guys, beards and turbans, and you go around the room and pitch, what have you got, And they were like, death to America, the streets will run with blood, you're the great Satan. But apparently, there's a Gen Z Ayatollah on this team, probably headphones, vaping at the time. And it got to be their turn, and they said, well, let's rage bait him on the pedo thing. And they went with it. That's very progressive from Iran. Get the kids involved. Yeah. Oh, man, they've had some classics over time that they've come up with. One of them was, I think they said, there will be rivers of blood in the street. You will drown in your own blood. And I think that shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the American people. Because I really can't imagine us drowning in our own blood. Especially when you take into account the average American's cholesterol level. I am not sure our blood still qualifies as a liquid. I mean, if the streets were full of it, it'd probably be a tripping hazard. So yeah, it's dangerous, but no one's going to be drowning in it. That's not going to happen. But they're getting the younger generation involved now. They can get out there in the street and do their chants and whatever they're going to be. Operation Epstein Fury. We will put sick burns on America. We will throw shade at you. your skinny jeans are ridiculous. All the things that the kids are doing now that just take you down a notch. So, yeah, the whole world has changed. Yeah. So I moved here, 2017. A lot of people ask me, like, what are the major differences? And a couple of them stick out right away. Number one, your liberal party is not liberal. I don't know where they came up with that name. This one's weird for Americans. If you're familiar with, because you have the same brands here, Kmart is nicer than Target. That just blows me away. Kmart doesn't exist. They went out of business in the United States. Target won that war. Put them out of business. Yeah. I just want to tell you something too. I will not call it Hungry Jack's. I know too much. That is a Burger King. Not only have I eaten there all my life in this restaurant with this orange theme, and the logo is a bun with 2 words in it, and the menu is all the same. The day I came here, I got on a plane. Before I got on the plane, I ate at a Burger King at LAX, got on a plane, get off the plane in Sydney Airport, walk right by the exact same restaurant, and now it's called Hungry Jack's. Am I to believe that I have been transported through some kind of magical ground beef and sesame seed portal that has taken the noble Burger King and reduced him to some just random bloke that needs a feed? Can't believe that. Some things that, terrorism, I was talking about that a little bit. I was just going to say, 9/11 takes on a new meaning when you move here from the United States. Because, of course, America is the only country in the world that uses that format to express the day and date. So, I know it seems like it would be a very simple thing, but when you grow up with the other format and you have that in your head, you are always going to get it wrong when people state the day and the date like that. I always get it wrong, and I can't remember if you do it day, month, year, or month, day. I don't know which. All I know is every year I'm going to relive 9/11 twice. Once when it pops up my way, and once when it pops up your way. And it's just kind of ingrained in me, being American, because I've been taught our little saying that we came up with: 9/11, never forget. Yet every year that I've lived in Australia, I am completely confused about what day 9/11 actually happens on. That's by design too, because that saying, 9/11, never forget, that's not for me. That's aimed at the terrorists. Because the terrorists come back and attack things on the anniversary of the first attack. So when we say to them, 9/11, never forget, that's a taunt. That is a brilliant piece of reverse psychology, because we get it in their head that way, and they're going to get it wrong. I guarantee you, when you grow up with the other system, you will miss it. That's the weak spot. We found the weak spot in their system, and it's being able to reset the day-date format in your Microsoft Office calendar. No one can do that. When you think about it, there's a 50-50 chance it's right. Mine is always wrong. And that controls everything you do. Your computer, just everything that you do, everything that you buy, every transaction, every conversation you have. That's why we haven't had another 9/11 since then. I guarantee you, every year, probably at some airport, some dude rocks up to a counter and has to be told by the ticket agent, yeah, this ticket's for the wrong day. And then he has to make an embarrassing phone call to his boss. And then the FBI steps in, we gotcha. You have been 11-9'd. You 9/11 us, we 11-9 you. That's what keeps us safe. So yeah, some things that I've noticed are different, and if I could just ask, there are some things you should tell people when they move here. One of which is, I did not know that this country used speed cameras. Yeah, we had them in the United States about 2 decades ago. They have since been outlawed because people were getting all kinds of speeding tickets, and then they would go to court, and eventually the system just got thrown out because it's unconstitutional. The Constitution is it's a sacred document. and it's the document that tells us everything, all the words that we need to live by. And there are people called constitutional scholars that interpret this document, because no one else on earth knows what the fuck it means. So the speed cameras get thrown out, they're unconstitutional. But I come here, I drive a car one day, 2 infractions. Yeah, well, I actually didn't get the infractions in one day. I got them a week later because they mail them to you. And I gotta say, I was not expecting that either. Okay? Because I don't know, I was out there driving around, don't even remember what I did or where I went. But one day I go and I open up the mailbox. There's a letter in there from Infringements Victoria, $123 because I was speeding. I don't even remember that. Next day I open up the mailbox. Apparently on the same day, I drove through a school zone at like 65 kilometers an hour, $543. I just had no idea. And I just think that's wrong. To punish you like that, because that's what the fine is. That's punishment for bad behavior. The punishment has to be immediately after the bad behavior, so you associate it with that. Like, I don't associate this fine with the speeding that I did a week ago. In fact, I'm not scared to speed. I probably do it all the time. I'm scared to open the mailbox. I don't know how many of those tickets are in there, because I stopped opening the mailbox in 2018 when I had 14 demerit points, and I just didn't want to know anymore. But it just doesn't seem right to catch me with it. Look, if you want me to slow down, you are going to have to tell me that you caught me. So it just seems like a trick. The first one, okay, that's on me, but the second one, that is just Roads Victoria running up a budget so they can build this Eastlink thing out here. And that brings me to this. I live in this neighborhood, Rosanna. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful little neighborhood. Very small little suburb. Probably not famous for anything other than being a very small little quaint little leafy suburb. But here's what I know about Rosanna. We have the honor of having the top earning speed camera in the state of Victoria. It is at the corner of Darabin and Rosanna Road, which is outside the Coles, which right next to the Coles is Heidelberg Primary School, which is how they nailed me. That's $6 million. This camera, I looked it up, $6 million last year from this speed camera. Honestly, though, only like half of that was me. But it just doesn't seem fair, because look at the difference in technology that you use to catch me and the technology that you use to tell me that you got me. They bounce a laser beam off your car, and then it comes back to the laser, and it calculates your speed. They have a high definition camera with some kind of AI program in it that reads your rego plate. High, just absolutely cutting edge technology to catch me. And then they tell me I've been caught using the same technology that Captain Cook used to update the Queen. Look, what I'm saying is I've got a phone, just text me the ticket. I was probably on the phone when I did the speeding. Because otherwise, I'm just going to be running up a tab. $543 for, and this is what, okay, here's what got me, is I get this infringement notice, right? And I've been here like a week, and it says, you know, you were speeding, you were up over the speed limit, you were going 65 kilometers per hour. Well, I had no idea. I thought I was driving miles per hour. Because it doesn't say on the sign. Nobody told me. I mean, I knew you had a metric system, but I thought it was for like beer and things, you know? Like, it's this much in a glass, and like, I don't know, it was this much sour cream, but you use it for the speed limit. But you don't put that on the sign. Because I've driven a long time, I'm old. I know whatever the sign said, like 40 or something, I know what that feels like. Yeah, I open up the mailbox, no man, I was going 65 kilometers per hour. Because it's metric. Do you have any idea what the difference is between 65 miles per hour and 65 kilometers per hour? It is $543 if you do it outside the polls where the Heidelberg Primary School is. That's how I learned how to do the metric conversion. I can't afford to drive on that road. I just go other ways. So that's one thing, is I don't understand your metric system. And people say, well, it is more exact than the imperial system. It's better. To which I always say, the what? What the fuck is an imperial system? Never in my life has anyone ever called whatever that system is that we use to measure stuff. I didn't know it had a name. Imperial, okay, whatever, yeah. No, the metric system, it's better. Look at how exact it is. It can be precise. It can tell you, you know, it goes like little millimeters, and then it goes whatever centimeters, and then it goes meters, and then it goes kilometers. Okay, it's very exact, but I see it being misapplied. I go into the deli, right? Because I want a ham sandwich. I look down at the shaved ham, and it's $28.99. Holy shit! This little slices of ham like this, $28.99. Oh, the guy behind the counter says, "Well, that's for a kilogram of it. It's priced per kilogram. Like if you buy a kilogram of shaved ham, that's what you're going to pay." And I can't really imagine a scenario where anyone would be buying shaved ham. I'm like, how much is a kilogram? And he pulls out a shovel and a pillowcase. It's not about this much. I'm like, I don't need that much. Is that really the most precise measurement you've got for that? Because I can't imagine anybody ordering lunch meat by the kilogram. Possibly if you were having lunch with Clyde Palmer and a pack of dingoes, you might just go, I'll have 4. I'm American. I knew Americans know one unit of measure in the metric system, 9 millimeters. That's a bullet that's bigger than a 22, and it's smaller than a 38. And I know this from my gangster rap songs. It's been immortalized in gangster rap songs. The 9, it's their weapon of choice. So we know what size it is. Because, you know, we like the guns. And our guns, they have personalities, right? You got like 9 millimeter. You know what that is? That gangsters carry that. You're like an old revolver. Oh, that's like a detective, you know. Like you can watch our movies. You can look at the poster, and the gun that's in it will tell you what kind of a movie it's in. You know. That's another thing that's different. Yeah. So, my name is Greg. I'm 62 years old. I didn't need to tell you that, did I? Yeah, everyone named Greg is 62 years old. My name was popular for 1 year, and then it just fucked off. It just fell off a cliff. I don't know what happened. Yeah, no sense in lying about your age on a dating app if your name is Greg. Because it's just right out there next to your avatar. Very quick Google search is going to tell you how old I am. I mean, you can just start typing Greg into a browser. 2 results come up. Born in 1963, and how to detect colon cancer early. Because they know what's important. They know what's important to anybody. That's it. So I go on the dating apps. I don't lie. I don't bother lying about my age like some people do. I'm like, look, just set me up with Elizabeth. We'll go have coffee, and we'll talk about what hurts. That's what you do when you're my age and you meet someone. You commiserate. You share your symptoms, your problems, and you're like, how about your shoulder? Like, did you hurt your shoulder on the doorknob when you came in here? Yeah, why do they make doorknobs like that? You're just always looking to see what might be possible later in the evening. I did a thing called speed dating, and I was down at Melbourne Central. They'll put you in categories according to your age. My category, 55 to 70. I wasn't chuckling the way you guys are. That's the top category, by the way. As you go through and you look, you're always like looking at the brackets, and you look at the ones below you, and then you look at, well, how many are above me? There's none above that. Top bracket. They stop. They cut it off at 70. Like, no dating after 70. No. This is closing time. Find somebody. Just go do it. And it's like, holy shit. That's it. Good stuff. So, I did had a dating coach, and they were like, well, yeah, you got to treat it like it's a job. You don't know how difficult it is. You got to get out there, do every app that there is. Do your speed dating. Just put it out there. Tell all your friends you're looking. Tell everybody at work that you're looking. Just use every form that's out there. You got to cast the net wide. Treat it like it's a job. So that's what I've been doing. Right now, I'm cold calling. The woman on the phone was like, hey, can I talk to the person in your household who's responsible for romantic decisions? Some people think that they can find their partner by using zodiac, the zodiac signs. And I don't really believe in the calendar one. I do believe in the Chinese calendar one. You've seen this, right? The Chinese calendar. They'll match you up with your soulmate based on the year that you were born. But your soulmate was not born the same year. For instance, I was born in 1963. I am a rabbit. I am compatible with a goat. A goat is a woman that was born in 1967, or 1979, or 1991, or 2003. I just want to say, this sounds like such a better system than that other zodiac one, and it embraces diversity. We're learning about new cultures and their system and their way of life, and the Chinese have been around so much longer. I'm sure they know way more about dating than we do. They know what constitutes harmony in a relationship, and apparently they know what constitutes a felony. So I think we should be using their system. We should be listening. We should be opening our minds to these new ideas. That's what we should be doing. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of dating. Like I said, I married an Australian. I moved here. Within a year, we split up. Well, I guess, we did all the tourist stuff, so now it's just something new. But I don't say that to try to get, don't awe me, because I'm, not looking for sympathy. Yeah, it was rough. It's rough to have that happen to you. But when you're a man, see, we have a coping mechanism for when things get bad emotionally, or something like this, like your partner leaves you. And we have a classic way of coping with it. Maybe you've heard of it before. You keep a second family. So now I'm on the other side of town, and with Melissa, got 3 kids, in a better school district. I don't need 2 phones anymore. That saves me like $80 a month. Oh, I kid. But seriously though, what happened was bad communication with my ex-wife, and she'll tell you that she doesn't like difficult conversations. So when she told me she wanted a divorce, she sent me a text message, which I think is that's a crummy way to break up with somebody. Yeah, and I probably sound like I'm a little bit biased, but I did get an objective third-party opinion on this when she sent me the text message saying all these reasons why she wanted to get divorced. My Google phone's suggested auto response was "girl, please," with the accent on "please," just like that. Your Google knows. They've got your whole history. They know all your fights that you've had. It's all that. So, but she has trouble with what she calls difficult conversations. So she didn't want to. It was hard for her to come out and tell me. So finally, she did get to the point where she wanted to talk and tell me everything. And what she did was she sent me a 10-minute WhatsApp message. A 10-minute, that's a podcast. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to episode one of Fuck Off Craig, brought to you with a grant from Patreon. Podcasting at me. New media's, wow, crazy. And it's because we each are poor communicators. She's a poor communicator. My problem, I don't ask enough questions. So it's because of this communication gap that we have. We have a son who is named after a ghost hunter. Anybody else name their kid after a ghost hunter? I'm a professional ghost hunter. Yeah, our kid is named after, I think, the most famous ghost hunter in the world, Zach Baggins. 28 seasons of Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. The godfather of modern ghost hunting. He's the best in the world. He's written books on ghost hunting, one of which my wife owns. He invented a machine that captures ghosts. He can take it down into a room, and if there's a ghost present, it goes off and it makes a noise. Brilliant, brilliant ghost. The Steve Jobs of ghost hunting. Ghost hunting in the palm of your hand. But apparently, one day my wife just said, what do you think about Zach for your son's name? And I think it's a cool name. Man. It's a short, it's got the K sound, sounds like a guy name. That's a good name, let's do that. Well, after a while, my friends started asking me, how do you spell Zach? Which spelling do you use? Do you do Z-A-C like Zach Brown from Zach Brown Band? Or do you do Z-A-C-K like Zach Greinke, the baseball player? Or do you do like the Z-A-C-H like the president, Zachary Taylor? And I had to think about it, and I went, we do Z-A-K just like Zach Baggins. And that's when I realized. I used to work on this television show called The Soup. We ran clips of other television shows, and we were always running clips of ghost hunters. 11 years I worked on this show while I was married to this woman. There were only 2 times, the whole time I worked on this show, that she was excited enough about one of our guests that came in that she came down to the studio to meet them and get their autograph. 2 times she did this. Number 1, Kylie Minogue. Okay, makes sense. Number 2, Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures. Had to autograph her book. And that's what makes me think, you named my kid for a ghost hunter. Okay, that's weird enough, but my job on this show was to write jokes about Zach Baggins. And I came up with one of the things I did was I came up with a name for him, which is Zach Douchebaggins. Yeah, it's not going to win an Emmy, especially when the bag part is already there. I wrote like half the joke. But if you're following along and you put the pieces together, I let my wife talk me into naming my son after a guy that I named Douchebag. I don't pay enough attention. So now my son, I have to tell him that he's named after a ghost hunter. He's 13 years old now. He's old enough to know. And aside from the fact that I personally don't believe in ghost hunting, it conflicts with, I want to raise my son in a ghost-free home. I've lost the right to do that. Because he's got different custody now. She goes over, she's with the new guy. I don't know anything. I don't know what they do over there. They could be hunting a Bigfoot. I don't know. That's crazy. And it's, I don't believe in ghost hunting. I think it's ridiculous. And it's not too hard to take it apart. But think about this. The whole show is based on people die through a tragic way, and their spirit is trapped in that place where they died. Which to me makes no sense because ghosts can walk through walls, but apparently they've got like on their ankle that thing that Woolies puts on their shopping carts, and it keeps them in this radius of where this awful thing happened. And why is Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel? Ghosts stay in some shitty places, I want to tell you that. There was not one of these places they've ever been anywhere in the world that would get more than maybe like 2 stars in a review. It's always just like an abandoned mine shaft or some shit. Anyhow, I do believe that like things like spirits, you might want to call it a ghost, but I would call it a spirit. Like everybody has a spirit. And some people die, and sometimes their spirit comes back and makes itself known to people. And we know this because a lot of people have died and come back to life. People have been temporarily dead, and we used to call this near-death experience. The medical community now calls it a death experience. If you die on an operating table and 2 hours later you come back to life. And there's been books written, and everybody describes dying the same way. You start to levitate, you look down, you see your body, you look up, you're going through this tunnel, and there's a bright light at the end. Everybody describes it almost exactly the same. Yet nobody describes the experience of dying by saying, have you seen the show Ghost Adventures? It's like that episode in the Mexican prison, season 19. You sit around, you wait, and then the guy comes in with the ghost detector, and it goes off, and he yells, make yourself known, and you have to make yourself known, and you like knock over a chair, pull a book off the shelf, and boy, you just see the look on his face. So that's it. I don't think that ghosts are real, but I don't think you can find them with a consistency that will enable you to produce 28 seasons of a television show around it. I don't think they show up that regularly. So when people now ask me, oh, your son's name is Zach, how do you spell Zach? I tell them, we use the traditional ghost hunter spelling. So I came here from California, and that was a great place to live for a while. We had a thing there called medical cannabis, and about 2016, they changed the law. They just said they legalized it. It's what they call retail, which means you can walk. It's like walking into the bottle shop now. All the different strains of marijuana are in there. All the states are doing it. It's all legal now. Right when I left, that's what they did. And I feel like I'm missing out because I did a lot of the work bringing this substance into the mainstream. Back when I was going to concerts, late 70s, early 80s. I did a lot of work in bringing this substance into the mainstream and trying to get it legalized, and now I don't get to cash in on it. But look at how lucky I am. I live in Victoria, because we're the only state, medical cannabis. And so I can get my medical cannabis now because I have prescription. I have a legitimate medical reason for the cannabis. And that reason, of course, I get back pain. When I sit in one of those chairs that's across from someone who's authorized to write prescriptions for cannabis. Because I'll start getting pain that just shoots right down this nerve here in the middle of my back. I think if I was going to describe it, exactly the way it's described at webmd.com. My symptoms are like, you could take my symptoms and just Control-C, Control-V. I think I have Control-C, Control-V syndrome. That's just it. I went to the weed doctor. I call it the weed doctor because all they do is they dispense weed. They just write prescriptions for weed. But it's a doctor, and I had to go, so I did a bunch of research because for me, that is a difficult conversation. Because basically you're asking your doctor, where can I buy some pot? Because that's what I call it. People my age call it that, where I come from. We smoked pot. We were pot heads. It came from something called a pot plant. So imagine how excited I got the first time I saw a Bunnings ad. 40-liter pot plant, $79. I can just walk into a store and buy a big, wow, what a great country. But yeah, I'll tell you the quality of it, it's really not that good. So I do the medical marijuana, and it's not as good as back in the day when we just bought it and smoked it. And it's very processed. There's two different strains. There's the indica, which is like just really strong medicine that, like, if you take it, because you don't smoke it anymore, you make it into the oil, you take it, and like you can't do math for 3 days, okay? And then there's the sativa, which is more psychoactive, which is more, ooh, I want to listen to music. And they keep trying to blend them together to get these different effects. But they can't seem to achieve the one that I'm going for, which is the feeling that I had when I would get high back in 1983. Because they just can't seem to come up with a strain that mixes the calmness of staring at the cover of a Yes album with the adrenaline rush of being chased by the police. Because we lost something when we legalized it. It's not as much fun when you can just walk into a store and buy it. You used to have to know somebody. Like, you didn't have to pass a test. Like, if they didn't think you were cool, they wouldn't sell it to you. You go to a party, if you're not cool, they don't pass you the joint. Yeah, the whole system broke down. So, but that's what's coming this direction. Ireland's done it, Canada's done it. It starts out with the medical weed, and then eventually they it cures all kinds of things. No, it doesn't. But go ahead, keep saying that to get it legalized. But we need it. We need the weed doctor more than anything. We need the weed doctor. Weed doctor performs a very special function. Okay, think about this. Think about all the doctors you have in this country. Think about all the medical schools you have that every year is graduating new doctors. And every year, in every one of those classes, somebody graduates last. Do you want those people doing brain surgery? Or do you want them down over here on Smith Street writing prescriptions of sour diesel to 20-year-olds? Because they're not going to hurt anybody over there. Just, here you go, out the door. that is. That's what's coming down the pipe. I do like to drink, and I think that's something that I have in common with Australians. Oh, I like to get my grog on. I do. I go to the mom and pop bottle shop. I started out. I would just I'd go into Liquorland or a place like that, the big corporate liquor store. I can't do it anymore. It always it turns into some uncomfortable experience for me. Yeah, Liquorland will send you emails that are creepy. This happened to me one time. Just get an email out of the blue. It says, "Hey, Greg, would you like to tell us about your trip to Liquorland on September 27, 2024 at 9:17 a.m.?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to tell you. I haven't told my partner about this trip to Liquorland. Share a mortgage and 3 kids with this person, and she is not privy to my trip to Liquorland on that day." I don't know. They've got like your purchase history. They know I go in there, like 4 or 5 times a week and buy a $12 bottle of Prosecco. And apparently now they think we're mates and we're going to sit down, we're going to have a chat. Their messages, though, they're just trying to sell you stuff. And in their messages, they get like more and more aggressive because they think they know what goes on in your head now. One of the emails they sent me, it said, "Hey, Greg, did you find the answers you were looking for at the bottom of that 40 milliliter bottle of Jim Beam? They're just $39 a piece when you buy 2, and now it's $12.17. They've got it. I bought some wine from the wine club, and I won't do that again because the wine club will call you forever after you buy. Anybody else, you cannot get rid of the wine club if you buy anything from them. I bought a lovely Prosecco from them called Soar. And when I say soar, I mean SOAR. And it has a picture of a bird on it, or maybe like an eagle or a falcon, and it's because it's soaring, and that's where they got the term soar. But the word soar has 2 meanings, doesn't it? One day, again, phone rings, anonymous number, bloke just blurts out, "Hey, Greg, what do you think of that soar you just got?" And my first response was, "Does this guy have a camera in my shower? Is this one of those scams they have? How the fuck does this guy?" Oh, no, he's talking about the soar, and then he just keeps calling me. It's Trevor from the wine club, by the way. He just keeps calling, and I do not call me, and they just switch the number, and then they do it again and again and again. And I needed to get rid of it. And it was a little bit of, I had to, I guess, do some thinking, because when these telemarketers, they get, this is their livelihood. They can be very tenacious, and they just try all these tricks. And they know, like, you can yell at them, you can berate them. They'll keep calling you, because they've heard it all before. That doesn't do anything. If you want that person to stop calling you, I think you need to treat them like a person, and you need to give them a reason to not call you anymore. So finally, on one of the calls, I just told Trevor, "Look, I'm not interested in purchasing any of your wine, but I would like to have a chat with you about your relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Like some people with my church would just like to come over to your house." Done. You won't hear from them again. That's it. That's it. So, well, again, thanks again for coming on. It's just a crappy night. Yeah, it's just, I love Melbourne. If you're a comic, you don't want to live anywhere else. The culture's better, all that. But there was this idea, and my wife said, wife at the time said, "Well, let's move to Australia." I was thinking, wow, like white sand beaches and surfing and warm. It's just like, sure. Yeah, then you get here and it's like, why is the football team named Storm? It's first day we got here, we just had this, it was in December, and just this nasty wind and rain, and I guess they call that the big cool change. Yeah, so thanks for coming out. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. Sometimes I see things that remind me of home, and it sometimes gets me in a little bit of trouble. I'm a big baseball fan. It's baseball season now. That's where I was going with this. The seasons are opposite. It's spring, where I come from. So it's baseball season. I got baseball on the brain. I lived in Los Angeles for a long time. I'm a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. And sometimes I will see an Australian wearing a New York Yankees hat. And I gotta just give him a little bit of piss, you know? So I'll go up and I'll say something like, I bet you feel really stupid giving Garrett Cole $300 million, right? He pitched one game, threw out the ulnar collateral ligament in his elbow, had Tommy John surgery hasn't pitched in 2 years. And yeah, the Australian, right about that time, will usually say something like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I go, "Yankees hat." Yankees fan is like, "Oh, is this a Yankees hat?" "I don't know, I bought this at the servo this morning. Yeah, I was having a bad hair day and I didn't want to take a shower, so hat." They don't care. It's just, you just wear the hat. It means nothing. Like where I come from, like you will get bashed if you wear the wrong hat. It's just like this is a mental selection you got to go through, but not here. It's whatever. She'll be right. Whatever this is, New Jersey Cowboys or Chicago Knicks, whatever it is. Don't care. But it's cultural appropriation is what it is. Everybody does it. You can go anywhere in the world probably. There's people wearing New York Yankees hats and no more Chicago White Sox hats, completely unaware that if you wear it a certain way, it means you're selling drugs. And if you just the other way, it means you're buying drugs. If you put it on backwards, it means that there's a copper on the corner. Completely unaware of this. But it doesn't go the other direction, does it? Like, Americans don't take your culture. You know, like I'm sure you've been to Disneyland, everybody's been to Disneyland, but you've never like seen a guy wearing a Magpies jersey. And then you go up to him and you start talking about speckies and disposals, and the guy's like, "Oh, I know fuck all about AFL. I wear this because the stripes are slimming." You know, it's just it's an affectation. It's working. It's performing a chore for them. That's what it's doing. And I saw this in the paper. One of the first things that happened when I moved here, I saw an article right here in the Melbourne paper. A gentleman repelled a home intruder using a baseball bat. Bashed him in the head with a bat. That made me homesick. When it came to protecting his property and his loved ones, he chose an American icon. He went out and bought a Louisville Slugger. I'm sure he has a cricket bat somewhere on his property. Everybody has a cricket bat in this country. But he said, "No, I need a baseball bat to do the thing, to do the chore that I need to do. I need a baseball bat." And if you think about it, a baseball bat, it actually makes the task a little more difficult. A cricket bat, that's got a lot of surface area on it. You are going to hit what you swing at. Baseball bat, it's thinner, it's round, you got to hit it perfectly square. But you generate more head speed through the hitting zone. Yeah, and I think the real reason he went and got the baseball bat, a baseball bat sends a message. Like you see somebody, the bad guy in a movie always has a baseball bat. You see somebody coming at you with a baseball bat, you're like, "I don't want any of this." Now you see somebody coming at you with a cricket bat, you're like, "Well, how long is this going to take?" I don't have all day to get my brain back. All right, thanks so much. That is my little show. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming to Americunt. I do have an Instagram account where I tell jokes and I put up videos and things like that. Follow it on Instagram. They won't let me use that word on Instagram either, so it's got an asterisk on it. I think it's got an underscore on it, but that's it. And come back and support the Melbourne Comedy Festival. It is peak Melbourne. The come to a comedy show at the Comedy Festival, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a privilege to be able to get up here and perform. And to state the obvious, we can't do it without you. So thank you for coming out, and please come to another show.
No. Oh, I couldn't see. Thank you.
You can give directions. Come on, you're a co-pilot. The co-pilots always give directions.
So my kid is 13, so obviously we've been going back to America every year since 13 when he was 4. So a couple of years ago when we went back, between like 11 and 12, and his friends asked him to bring back a Walmart bag. That was the thing that they wanted, was a Walmart bag, and we brought it back. And I was like, the reusable Walmart bag, and I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal, it's whatever. And I think I accidentally gave it to somebody else. He just threw a fit. That's what 12, 13-year-olds want. I don't know that they think it's cool so much as they've seen it on the internet and they just want to somehow be connected to it. But that was the thing then, they wanted a Walmart bag. It's crazy, but do you like it here?
I've only been here 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Just made it here.
Yeah, it'll be weird at first because like they're having a lot of problems. Like I didn't know this before I got here, but all of your banking you need to set up on that side. Because once you're on this side, you can't change anything.
Oh,
Well, no, like so I had a
Oh, like for Australia
for both.
Oh.
Okay, well, I had an American bank account, and I wanted to, I was wiring funds back and forth,
Yeah.
but Chase Bank changed my account, and they took away that, as a benefit of my account. Like, if you want this, now you gotta pay more, you gotta get this new account. So I'm like, whatever. So after a while, I was like, well, yeah, let's put that back on. They were like, well, you have to come into a branch.
Oh,
I'm like,
I see.
what do you mean that? They're like, you gotta come into a branch and do it. So after a couple of years, I went back, I go to a Chase branch, and I'm like, yeah, I wanna get the wire transfer back on my account. And the guy goes, oh, well, yeah, you gotta do this, this, and this, and fill, and I was there for like an hour. And then finally we got done, he goes, okay, I'm gonna go in the other room and, give it to this person, it's all gonna be good. He comes back out and he goes, oh, there's a little bit of a problem. We can't just put that on your account. We have to close your account and then we'll open a new one that has a benefit. I'm like, okay, great. He's like, okay, here's an application, fill it out, what's your address? And I go, well, you know my address, it's in Australia. He's like, well, you gotta have a local address. I'm like, well, obviously, so yeah, it's all that kind of shit. I ran into it, maybe it's haven't been, hopefully, maybe things have changed enough yet that, but like getting a bank account here, you've gotta, like, my in-laws vouched for me, and they got me an ANZ account.
Hey.
Yeah, yeah, like things were weird, and then getting a work permit, I just, like, there's a waiting period, but things were, you're both from the United States? Yeah, I married a citizen, so I got permanent residency in like 18 months, which was fast at the time. I don't know what it is now. I don't know if they've slowed it down, but that was when Malcolm Turnbull was prime minister and Peter Dutton was the head of whatever the immigration department is. And the day I got here, he announced that they were going to slow down the process. They had this counter that told you how long you had to wait, because it was really weird. We brought a dog with us, and when you bring a dog, it goes through quarantine. It has a bunch of tests on that side. The tests are only good for so long.
Yeah.
So we had this window of time. So we actually moved before I got my permanent residency. But so all the immigration agents we hired, everything said, oh, it's going to be so easy for you because you're married to an Australian. Well, they had this clock on the calendar on the immigration site that said this is the normal wait. And it was down to like 2 months or something. While Peter Dutton made this announcement back in 2017, it started going the other direction. So 3 months, 4 months. I had a lot of shit like that happen to me. But probably not going to happen to you.
Your dog can survive the quarantine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It just had to
It's kid type, right?
my wife at the time worked at the Los Angeles Zoo. She worked in she was a vet tech, and if it was bad, I don't think she would have put our dog through it. But yeah, the dog went through it just fine and lived until about 2 years ago. So the dog was a year older than our son. The dog would be 14 now. He died just I think 2 years ago. It's complicated.
So they'll plan that really far in advance, put it to work, I think.
Yeah, well, you've gone through the process of yourselves.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, like I got, you gotta get fingerprinted. They took a chest X-ray of me. Want to know any medical conditions that you have? Have you ever had like a drink driving?
They just interviewed, well, like a form I filled out,
I'm on a student visa, so
It's
it's
just shit.
Yeah, our situation's a little weird because we haven't, I'm here on a work visa, so I'm pretty hoping to make it into PR, but we haven't been together long enough to like qualify like the facto marriage.
Yeah, see, I applied to be a permanent resident right off the bat because I was married to an Australian citizenship lawyer. Actually, we got married here. I met her in the States. We got married in Sydney, where she's from. We got married in Gunners Barracks, which is a big. It used to be the Gunners Barracks that overlooks Sydney Harbor, and they turned it into a banquet facility. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I was going for citizenship just right off the bat because like all the immigration agents told me, oh, it's going to be real easy. And it was. It just took some time. But yeah, they're going to check your background. But yeah, do what you're doing, and then you're just here temporarily and see how it goes. And
we'll see if
who
it's
knows?
temporary based on the United States.
Maybe things will flip around in 2 or 3 years. Maybe it'll be gone. I don't
Maybe
know.
that's
Seriously, man, what's going on right now, I think is absolutely frightening.
Yeah.
And I think people aren't taking it seriously enough.
That's why we got out.
I think people think it's gonna be the same as last time, but it's
Yeah,
not to be.
Iran is different than Afghanistan, Iraq.
True that.
It's gonna be a different deal.
I'm like so homesick. I'm like, I want to go back already. It's like, you don't want to go back.
It's weird
You're
at
really
first.
doing.
Yeah, like, do you like sports?
Not even a sports person.
Yeah, it's really weird watching Monday Night Football on Tuesday morning.
Figure this out later.
Like if you want to watch a sports game, like I want to watch footy. It's on at Monday morning, depending on daylight savings time. The games can start at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But then the late game is on at noon.
Yeah.
You can go into the pub. NFL is huge here. They're going to play an NFL game at the MCG this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can go during footy season. You can go to any pub
Yeah.
at noon, and they will have the games on. You can go down to this is the Colonial Imperial,
Yeah,
the one that's over by
Imperial,
Parliament.
look, yeah.
Always has
Yeah.
American sports
Which
on
is-
in there in their sports bar. And
Super
I
Bowl,
think
you're pissed by 11 a.m. Like literally.
Super Bowl. You
Fucking
see what
11 a.m.
people charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What bars charge for a seat.
Absolutely.
To watch the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
And
And
I
places
paid-
will charge like $70.
Because you're in
I
Victoria.
paid that.
Get in the door.
I paid that.
Sports capital.
But yeah, that is the time change is weird, and if something
Yeah.
happens, it happens in the middle of the night. You wake up and like there's always bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to bed and it's just weird. And we go and talk to people. Like had to have a Zoom meeting with my family, about my mom and that kind of what to do with her estate and everything. And everybody's like, well, let's do a Zoom meeting, and they're sending me these times. It's all 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
'Cause, so yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And then the days are weird. You look at the news and it says, well, this happened on this day. It's like, well, no, it's not that day yet. They're like, this is going to happen on this day, and you're like, well, that's today, but it's not. That's
Not yet.
yesterday.
The prophet
Right
is
there. It's
Yeah.
But basically, just day-to-day life. I think you picked a good spot. This thing has everything. It's great. The food is great. The sports are great. Yeah, the weather is just weather's good for ducks, but it's a little cold and rainy. But in the summers are just as hot as anywhere else in Australia. That would be nice, but it's spring, summer rolls around. It'll be beautiful. There we go.
Hey, how are you?
All right, well,
Next
this
show.
dude's got a next show coming in. This guy's from France, and he came here.
Woo! Ah, oui, oui.
Ah,
I can,
you mean-
Everybody's coming.
I came just for tonight for the train show, guys.
We love you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va?
Yo, thanks so
Thanks
much.
for the show. Yeah, we literally were just browsing on the site. I was like, oh, it's only working
Carrie?
And I wrote the name.
Carrie, nice to meet you, Carrie.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
videos
yeah.
and stuff, and I produce shows like out in suburbs. I do live
If
in
you wanna
Auckland,
stay,
I
you
do
can stay for the
shows,
show.
Like with
Yeah.
big Australian headliners.
Yeah, I have like a
East
First
Side
place,
Hall,
20
East Side
people,
Hall,
so there's still a few seats.
I actually produce shows in Brisbane now.
you
So yeah,
will see.
all over.
Of course he is funny.
Well, Arch Barker is really big here.
Paris
Some
and
shows with
Cheese.
Arch. There's some shows in
Yeah.
Brisbane next month with
We went to
Mel
Disneyland in
Huge comic here.
2020.
Our last show was with
Okay.
Braun Lewis
Yeah.
and
What most
Rep
tourists
Lake,
do.
who just
Yeah.
hosted
Yeah,
the
did you
All-Star
like it?
Gala on the
What is your
comic
name?
thing.
Leo.
They're all
Leo.
really well-known
Nice to meet you.
Australians.
Kerry
I don't
and
perform at the
Jerome.
shows, I just produce
Jerome?
them.
Jerome.
I
Jerome,
just
very
do this
French.
because-
Yeah.
I know. Really?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, fuck, I should get up and start doing
Sorry.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Festivals are great for that. So, yeah, find Americunt on Instagram.
Yeah,
Give me a follow. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh, it was really good, man.
Did you,
Good.
are you from Australia?
London.
Yeah.
I'm from London.
I'm from Australia.
Same things, and I work in middle management at
Yeah,
ANZ.
this is the first one to do
Oh, okay. When did you?
1992.
Oh, so you
A little while. A little while.
You're
But
from America?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just moved 2.5. I moved 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
you're like, as this is the conversation, you're in the right spot, like, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm still just really homesick right now.
And
Of course,
I
of course.
get that, and
Yeah.
so was I for 10 years.
10 years, that's cool.
Yeah. Like, that's it. I was a little kid when I got here.
Okay, thanks.
But on reflection, you're in the best city in the world.
You wouldn't go back to
No way. No way.
So what are you doing here?
I'm on a student visa. I'm studying and he's working.
Yeah, I work for Autodesk doing cybersecurity.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were willing to move me out here and use that. Yeah, and then she's studying for her master's, and then
Yeah,
we
where are you
actually-
studying?
Unimog.
Okay, yep, yep.
We actually met like living in the same apartment building in Seattle, Washington.
Nice.
Yeah.
And decided to move here together.
Yeah.
This was like literally just all in the past like 6 months.
Yeah.
So like I had no idea I was gonna move here.
Yeah.
And I met him and I'm like, okay, now I'm in Australia.
It just
I'm like,
happens,
what?
doesn't it?
It's random, it's impulsive, it's...
My friends were all very concerned.
Yeah.
When I told them, I'm like,
Just go with it.
My friends are still concerned, but you just go with it.
yeah.
But that's like,
Yeah.
it's a good spot, like, seriously. And all the words just regurgitate out of his mouth, the food, the people.
I love the food here so far.
Exactly.
It's very good.
There's a couple good nights. If you go to like Melbourne Uni, go up to like Melbourne Central, hang around there. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. Don't worry about the penguins, but there's like getting to some networks. There's good networks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just branch out.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for coming
Great
on.
set.
Good man. I know, like literally, you'll be fine.
Oh my god, this thing's still going.
Hang in there.
That is.
Good luck.
You
Good luck.
too.